Morning. It's Wednesday, October 14th. We're halfway through the month already. And today I want to talk about health insurance, specifically about the Affordable Care Act, which I have never been in favor of, and I have never considered it affordable. But I want to talk a little bit about its history and about the fact that the Supreme Court is going to rule on its constitutionality, I think, on November 10th this year. And that's one of the reasons that the Republicans are in a rush to get the confirmation of Amy Coney Barrett done with, because they want her on the court for this decision, along with several other decisions that could affect our lives. But that's neither here nor there. Let's talk about the Affordable Care Act. It was passed with a penalty clause, which John Roberts cleverly disguised as a tax, because a penalty clause would have been unconstitutional, but Congress was allowed to apply a tax. And that tax was for young people who didn't want to pay for insurance, but the money that they paid in was needed to cover the costs of the Affordable Care Act. And one of the first things that President Trump did is he set that tax to zero, so that money is not coming in to help pay the costs of affordable care. I know in this country there are many people who are in favor of affordable care and a universal health plan, but there are many people who are against it. There are many people who don't want universal health care. They don't want the government interfering with their health. They don't want the government determining what they can be treated for and how they can be treated and what it's going to cost. They don't want that. This country was founded on the back of immigrants, people with an entrepreneurial spirit, people who came to this country to avoid a feudal system. And then in the mind of many of those people, this smells of a feudal system, of a rigid social structure. And Americans are individualistic and they don't want to be controlled like that. And it's evident in this country when you watch the behavior with respect to the pandemic and how many people think their rights are being infringed upon it by being asked to wear a mask. So that's one of the problems. We don't want necessarily a universal health care system. Then, of course, there are the special interest groups that don't want it. They definitely don't want it. The insurance industry is dead set against it. They spent over $1.2 billion lobbying against Obamacare in 2009. And they continue to lobby against it. And they are a powerful, powerful industry. I don't know how many of our government representatives are in the pockets of some insurance company. Let's not kid ourselves. One of the major problems that we have in this country is campaign funding. And campaign funding directly affects whether or not we'll have certain programs in this country. So every time there's a really big issue, the lobbyists go into action for or against. And in this case, most of them are against. And another problem with the Affordable Care Act was the fact that insurance companies had too much say in the way the plan was put together. And that's why it's not really affordable, right? Because the private insurance companies were guaranteed a profit when we put this thing in place. So I don't know if we'll ever have universal care. And I know that if the Supreme Court takes this down on November 10th, we'll have, I don't know, people are saying another 100 million people unemployed. I don't know what that number is. But I think it's only fair to the people in this country who might want to have affordable care that the Republicans should step forward with a plan just in case the Supreme Court decides to overthrow the Affordable Care Act. And other thing that is involved in any kind of universal program, they're hard to manage. It's difficult to manage what people are calling an entitlement program. And I certainly would not call this an entitlement program. And I would not call Social Security or Medicare entitlements programs. It's not like people are getting a free ride. People are paying for that. So given the situation between our culture being unusually individualistic, which means we're protecting our rights in all situations, and we favor personal involvement as opposed to government involvement, this is a tough fight. And then you have the lobbyists and the industries that are against it. And believe me, the lobbyists have lots of power, lots more power than the average individuals. And they spend billions on their causes. And they are protecting the private insurers. So the status of a universal health care system is very tenuous. So as long as we continue to have these major individual characteristics, and as long as we have lobbyists and campaign funding, there's little reason to expect that we will ever have universal coverage in the United States, regardless of who becomes president. Presidents can't fight lobbyists, and they can't fight our individual characteristics, the generations of being independent. So that's what I think is going to happen with the Affordable Care Act. The Supreme Court may allow it to continue, but it will never lead to universal health care. So have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the morning. Bye.